In this summary video of what we will learn in the upcoming lessons, we will understand the core concepts of the VLOOKUP, HLOOKUP, and LOOKUP functions. Let's start with the lookup function and its syntax. We need to answer these three questions. We are looking for which value, in which range do we find it, and what range from which to return a result. The core concept of the lookup function is it looks for an approximate value if it doesn't find the exact value. For example, we have a table containing the students' names and score in ascending order. The scores should be in ascending order to get a correct result. Our mission is to find the student who has got 60 on the exam. The value that we are looking for is 60. The range where we find the value is the scores column. The range from which to return the name is the names column. Even though we don't have any student that has got a 60 grade, the formula returns one of our students. How did that happen? The lookup matches all the values that are less than or equal to the search key. If the lookup hits a value greater than the search key, it goes to the cell that contains the nearest value to the search key, then returns the value from the result range. And now, let's jump to the VLOOKUP and its syntax. We need to answer these four questions. We are looking for which value, in which range do we find it, which column of the selected range do we want to return, and do we want to use the exact match or approximate search. We type 0 or false for the exact match search and 1 or true for the approximate search. To use the function correctly, we need to understand these concepts. Number 1. The value we are looking for should be in the first column of the selected range, and the returned value should be at the right of the first column in that range. Could we return a value located at the left of the first column in the selected range using the VLOOKUP? Yes, we can. For example, our mission is to find the year built of the selected property. To achieve that, we could create a virtual table using the array in which the desired value is in the right column. Number 2, the VLOOKUP returns the first occurrence of the lookup value. Could we get all values that match the lookup value? Yes, we can. For example, our mission is to find all the buildings built in a specific year. To do that, first we filter the data, then count the duplicate using the COUNTIF function, and finally we use the VLOOKUP to get all the buildings from the helper column. The idea is to convert the search key to numbers, then add them as an array in the formula. Number 3, the VLOOKUP returns a value from one column. Could we expand it to return values from multiple columns? Yes, we can. For example, to return all data associated with the selected building, we use the sequence function to provide the index parameter of the VLOOKUP. And if we want to return just a few columns, we could add an array that contains the numbers of the columns. Number 4, the VLOOKUP function looks for a value in a single range. Could we use it to search in multiple ranges? Yes, we can. For example, if we need to fetch data from two tables, we join them virtually by creating an array that contains all the desired ranges. The VLOOKUP and HLOOKUP functions have the same formula syntax and concepts, except for the index parameter, which in the VLOOKUP function is the number of the column, and for the HLOOKUP is the number of the row. For both functions, we can use the match function to make the index parameter dynamic or type it as a numpy. Also, we can use an exact match or approximate search. One of the practical uses of the approximate search is to categorize the data. Another example is finding the discount value depending on the quantity. Thanks for watching. We've added the link to each lesson in the description, where you find a detailed explanation and more practical examples. Also, we provide a link to download a starting template for each one. And now, if you haven't done it yet, please subscribe to our channel, join our free Google Classroom, and we are happy and ready to help.